Yeah, 100%.
Yes, for sure.
Same, all the history is the same, the dynamics are the same, characters are the same.
I mean, I consider it a fourth season. The two men are on different paths, but as far as the tone of the show and who we are, it's the same. And in fact, I think in some ways we even go further with it. Just like I think if it was actually our fourth season in a row, I think we would go further with it anyway. So we're actually going further with it.
Well, we don't want to give anything away, but you're right in that the show is pretty brutal. As brutal, if not more so than the previous show. There's a couple of moments we've been talking about, there's a couple of moments in the season where we even find it hard to look at, you know? So for those fans who enjoy the gorier side of this show, I think they're gonna be very happy.
I think with Fisk, he's decided, you know, because I consider him sort of like, because he's so calculated and dangerous, he's always stayed in the shadows. And I think that I like to look at him as a vampire trying to live in the daylight now, which is impossible. So the mission that he's on is a hard one. He wants to become mayor so that he gains more. He extends his reach for power, but it's a difficult thing for him to live in the daylight. And so the whole thing is a struggle, and you're gonna have to watch the whole series to see how that turns out.
Matt Murdock is kind of a very different man at the beginning of this season. You know, he's been truly humbled, and he's trying to rediscover his identity. He's trying to find a way to continue with his life after having experienced a real trauma. You know, I think he will probably never be quite the same again. We have an amazing stunt coordinator called Phil Silvera he choreographs some incredible sequences. My stunt double Nico on this season is an incredibly talented performer. I do a lot of work to be able to do the scenes as well and to be able to participate in them. And we're always, in any scene that we do with this character, we're always conscious of the fact that he's not using his eyes to function, to see. So we just try to incorporate that into every action sequence as best we can, and it's a really fun challenge and difficult, but you know, it's part of the character. You know, I do a little bit of, not jiu-jitsu, I do a little bit of mainly I focus on K1 because so much of what we do is striking. But I'm not particularly well trained in any martial arts. You know, I think of Daredevil as a bit of a brawler, you know, and his dad was a boxer, so obviously we do quite a lot of boxing. But it really, my time is spent like trying to focus on the individual sequences and the choreography, and hope that I get enough time to learn them, that some form can be there. I feel like we all do things or behave in ways that we're not particularly proud of. You know, we all have character flaws, we all make mistakes. Part of being human is to, you know, recognize those mistakes and character flaws and do your best to eliminate them or to learn from them or whatever it is. So I relate to that. You know, Matt Murdock is successful at that to a certain extent, and he fails a lot of the time. I think one of the things we try to do with these characters is show their human side as much as possible so that they're more relatable.
He has a plan, and he's going to succeed in this plan. But the path to succeeding is him running for mayor. And although it's very uncomfortable for him to be out in the daylight doing that, he does it. Eventually, it becomes harder and harder because there's happens to be another character in the show that's sitting next to me here that makes it harder and harder for him. But he doesn't give up, and he becomes, you know, the more he's pushed, the more dangerous he becomes.
Just because of the history of the character, I think whenever the Punisher shows up, he's a huge fan favorite, and working with John is an absolute delight. He's such a phenomenal actor. He's so good in this role. So I think if I had to choose, I think I'm particularly excited about fans seeing a couple of scenes with John.